Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Men are useless. Men are useless. Men are useless. Men's Mental Health Month simply can't exist because June is my birthday.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care.
Sorry, we can't overlap. I'm priority.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
What's going on, man? If you seeing me right now, men are useless and Men's Awareness Month don't matter because of your birthday. Shorty, your birthday. That's number one. Number two, you're sitting here in your house, not even your house probably, built by a man. You on a phone built by a man. You on an app built by a man. You're wearing a dress built like a man. You know what I'm saying? Everything you have on, everything that centers around you, like these incel, bird-brained women who think men's don't matter. That's why I say, go get you a queen, bro. They at least know. They at least know men's mindset matters, emotions matters, feelings, ego. We're not fucking robots. Go get you a queen and leave these other bird-brained women alone.
I ain't never left. You really ain't never left.
So we got Sharing My Truth podcast. If you want to watch the whole hour, this is Jeff James, by the way. Man, y'all go look into him, bro.
Outside, you don't want to equalize that. You don't care about.
So before that, I was talking like small red pill conversations, you know, stuff like that. But let's get it.
But what happens to people that are falsely accused, which is almost always exclusively men. You don't actually care about the declining school performance, the rise in ADHD diagnosis, and the psychiatric medication that comes from it. You don't care about the lack of homeless shelters for men. You don't care about the weaponization of the family court, the equal custodial rights, reproductive say for men, reduction in child support and alimony, pathologizing of just men and masculinity in general, negative attitudes towards even men that want a nuclear family. You don't think or care about any of these things.
Right.
And I'm not even saying it's just the feminists that don't care about it.
Nobody
I'm
cares.
saying
Okay.
most people who don't do what I do don't care about this at all.
Nope.
And you're creating, and we talked about this 80-20 rule. What's happening to the 80%? You don't
Yeah.
care.
Not good.
And the beauty is if I just get the man I want, if I just get the partner I want, if I just I don't care about what's happening with men. Let's bring the attention back to women. That's what the detective did in that show.
Right.
And that is what society in Western cultures is unfortunately like. Most people only care about males or boys or men
Man.
if they are their brother, their son, or their father, or their uncle, or their close friend. This society, in the quest to be fair to women, to improve their rights, allow the worst representatives to take it to its furthest extreme.
Right.
When we talk so much about misogyny,
Uh-oh.
most women can't tell you what the term is
Nope.
for a strong distaste and hatred for men. What's the term? What's
Misandry.
misandry?
Exactly.
Being a misandrist. Most men's experiences that we keep labeling as incels, we keep labeling as misogynists. Their experiences in co-worker situations, in the schools, dating, on dating apps, is that a lot of women are either misandrous or they're so reductionistic of men that
They don't
if
care.
you don't have the money, you have no say, and you need to shut up. And even if you do have the money, it's happy wife, happy life once I'm in your life.
Damn. Decode a lot of stuff right now, right? I can't really say what I want to say because of, you know what? Men's Awareness Month. Majority of guys didn't even know this is Men's Awareness. Well, not now, but last month, because it's so covered as what's more prioritized is that's more prioritized than commercials. Oh, hey, buy a man this for Father's Day. What you got for Father's Day?
Damn!
You know what I mean? I'm not saying your father wasn't great, but there was another creator that said, go ask your father his perception on what had happened. And that went mega viral because a lot of people was like taking the mother side. Because all we really know is our moms. The stats show 80% of black people only had their moms. Not saying, let's look at the DDG Haley Bailey situation. They're freaking putting conditions on him from getting his child. He's in Italy right now to get his son for 6 hours. He cannot post him. He can barely take him anywhere. He got to be supervised by 2 people. You see what I mean? I can't really say what I want to say, but we're going to decode it, and you're going to have to just understand what I'm saying. This generation of women, not all of them, the modern women do not care. They'll walk past you like you don't even matter. Yes, this is the sad reality of most men. If you have, a man has to be damn near perfect. Gym, height, long, you know what, pretty much perfect. And you cannot question the other gender. That's what's really sad. And this is why I am really passionate about my channel. I know it's not big and it's not where I wanted to be at, but at the end of the day, I'm still pushing to help at least one person understand where their worth is. Yes, you are appreciated, you are loved, you have feelings as well. And if the woman can't reciprocate that and project that positive aspect into your life, get her out. Because there's no way you should be accepting a woman with all these kids. You can't question nothing. There's no way you need to accept a woman that's overweight and you can't accept it. You have standards as well. And you got to be the one to code that, bundle that up, and stick 10 toes behind whatever you want.
Well, my wife, we joke around about it all the time. When we're amongst other couples and friends, she sarcastically say all the time, the one thing I appreciate about Jeff more than anything,
man,
is he's the same exact person in home as he is in public.
Man,
He doesn't change. So if I'm gonna say no, I'm gonna say no. If I'm gonna disagree, I'm gonna disagree. And
I really love that they're just sitting there, like, you know, listening and soaking that in. I really love that the most. You don't really get that a lot.
men not going through the natural maturation process as teenagers, as early adults, because they literally don't have the opportunity to with women. We can't be shocked anymore that there's an environment that's festering of boys and young men who unfortunately have a strong distaste, and I would argue not even for women in general, women in the Western cultures and countries.
Uh-oh.
This is why they're running to the other countries and cultures where
Talk about the passport bros, by the way.
men are at least still seen as valuable, relevant, important.
No, I think
So,
they're all very good points.
Yeah.
I think that, like anything in the West, to redress any imbalance in anything, we've had to go to some crazy level to the other side and come to a middle thing. And why are we so surprised? Why do we have to have shows like Adolescence that, quite frankly, are pretty late in the game in terms of culture? We're very late in the game. And like you said, I talk to quite a lot of my friends, who are all parents. And they had no idea I knew about it because I'm doing this podcast and I see these comments all the time and I was very aware of it. I've read a lot about it. They had no idea about it. And I'm like, you have teenage children and young adult children. How do you not know? How are you that ill-informed? I agree with you. To me,
you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but you want to know what's crazy? When you're in a market and environment where both parents got to work long hours, and both parents are out of the home for extended periods of time, and both parents have to figure out so much, and you don't even have one parent that's like really super involved, versus they both are kind of got 40-hour work schedules, and one may have to do additional overtime, and the cost of living is exploding. It's harder than ever before.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
For parents, men and women, fathers and mothers, it's a lot harder now. We are living in an area in New Jersey where our property taxes per month is the cost of most people rent across the world.
Yeah. Close.
Where our daycare is more than the cost for daycare for 1 to 2 kids is the equivalent of what 50 to 60% of people in the world make. So it's kind of difficult to be super duper involved and actually know what's going. You know what she saw? My son's home. He turns the light off when I tell him to turn the light off, and he doesn't get in trouble. He goes to school every day. He gets good grades. parents are just surviving. Mothers, fathers, people are just trying to figure this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I'm not saying it's a complete, that like there's no,
Oh, this is Sharing My Truth podcast, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't know if I mentioned it. Gotta give these creators their, credit.
they get no fault, they get no blame. I'm just saying that the context for what we're in is what's also creating this type of dynamic and environment.
Exactly.
So and then lastly, I meant to say, the dynamic, why is this exploding and why is this so big in the UK? And why are these government officials getting all involved in this? I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you are a young woman, or woman period, and you're thinking about, well, oh my gosh, this incel thing and all these men want to harm me and hurt me and do this or do that.
Right.
A huge percentage of the boys and men that feel that way, there's a reading why they're leading the statistics of being 4 times more likely to take their own life.
Right.
They're actually far more of a danger to themselves.
Man.
To anybody else.
Even in a relationship. You take a woman who's in a relationship with a man, in a relationship with a woman, her domestic violence is significantly higher with another woman
Than a man.
than with a man.
Yup.
Really?
I think it was like, what, 70%, if I'm not mistaken, that the DV cases is like higher. Like, and then if it's men on men, right? They're in a relationship, right? Men on men relationships. It's way lower than men and women. So think about that. If women on women is the highest, men on women is the middle ground, which is still pretty low. And then men on men violence it's like 20%. That is very crazy. It's not shocking, but it's crazy.
DV rates are up. Divorce rates are up. When same-sex relationships between 2 women than her with a man.
I know. The highest divorce rate is lesbian couples.
Yeah, and so is the DV rate.
What's the D?
They should be having the most orgasms. That's unbelievable.
Violence.
Yeah,
DV rate.
Right.
Yeah. So again, this show is so popular, it's so big, probably 250,000+ people are probably going to watch it. And now they're again adding to this narrative that the most unsafe you can be is dealing with and doing life with men or males. And what I'm arguing is a huge percentage of them end up taking their own life. A very, very small percentage of them, if they get successful enough, end up finding a suitable partner, or they're going abroad to find a woman who can meet their needs. So it's not to say that there's violence between men and women that doesn't exist. Of course it's a thing. All I'm suggesting is that the show, there may be ulterior motives for why the show is being pushed. And whenever politicians or celebrities or anybody who's not a normal person jumps in on a wave, always be wary of what's the thing that they're pushing and what's the policy that's going to come down as a result of this. Is this going to be a social media crackdown? Is this going to be a monitoring thing where people have to register their social ID numbers or something in order for them to even have access to?
Oh, that's a perfect example of a man with some sense, a man with worth and value and knows the standard of his life. I love men when they detach themselves from the naive propaganda ways of life. Now you're starting to awake. Now you're starting to resemble the same thing women says as well, what women expect as well. They want the finer things in life. Happy wife, happy life. Why we can't be equal? Weapon equality. You want equality when it benefits you though. Why we can't get any of the benefits you're getting? Not the double standard, you little yacht party. She paid 20, I gotta pay 100. We ain't talking about that. That's surface level. We want to breach the surface. You know what I mean? We want to breach that. All a man want, peace, happiness, keep your hands to yourself. We can play around, we can enjoy it. Nah, but you have this deception in the back of your mind that you created from these televisions telling you that a man ain't ish. We never hear these women ain't ish. You know why? Because the sisterhood, they have this coding in the back of their mind that's wired in the back of their mind. Even though you know she dressed like a 304, maybe she just comfortable. But how dare a man look at what the product is giving him? You call them men creeps though. But you the one giving this man the food, but yet you mad when the 1% of guys, the creepy guys, the weird guys, look at the food you're giving them. We're back at the level as men need to start waking up. Men need to accept the fact that, bro, you're not a robot. You with her and you scared to speak your truth. Why are you scared to speak out on what's bothering you in life? She got on you last night for having a flash on. Who texting us? But soon as she get a flash on, somebody texting her. Who texting us? Why you in my business?
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Oh man, I can't really say what I want to say, but like I said, you deserve happiness. You deserve the final things in life. No, it don't have to be happy wife, happy life. I'm not even saying try to take the light from her, shine the light, dim her life. I'm just saying, baby, let's shine together. We're trying to shine together, and the whole time you using child support, you using these court systems, you using the police system to cover up some accountability. You trying to use all of that to get ahead in life, to drain me. Not even a good, positive way. You're trying to drain me of my power, my legacy, and my earnings money-wise, right? I'm not speaking for me, I'm speaking for everybody. Instead of you trying to be a part of it, you want to take away and conquer like you conquered a man. No, why you can't be fair? That's all a man want, to be fair. Man, let me know what y'all guys think in the comments, man. I just want to let y'all know I appreciate everybody. Hit the like, hit the sub. Let me know how y'all feel, man. I'm Jay. Talking about men are useless. I'm gone.